Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Pixels and Points. We're back after a little hiatus, but excited to be here today. I'm Susie Brown, media buyer planner extraordinaire here at Red Rock, and with me, as always, is
Matt Nelsen. I'm the digital media director here at Red Rock as well. And today we've got a little article going over projections of media in 2026.
Yep,
So,
that
really
time of
nice,
year.
real nice, fast, quick one for us today.
Yep.
So, what the article starts out with is talking about how a lot of different media is growing in 2026, and we're going to see a lot more of the nothing new, but growth in what
Mhm.
we've already seen and what we've already seen grow this year. One of the things they talk about, of course, is TV. They're talking about how more and more companies are switching over to a branding model and not a ROI. Well, this is just what we know. A lot of
Yep.
companies are switching over from a branding to a branding model, and so we're going to see TV, um, just increase more this year. And by TV, I mean CTV, and OTT,
Mhm.
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it
So
seems like anything interactive with TV. So like retail on TV is going to get even bigger. Right now it's kind of only the big spenders, the big players you'll see pop up with their like interactive ads where you can choose your ad experience or buy now, right? Amazon's
yeah,
ahead of the game here, but they already had the infrastructure, right? So the
Amazon makes it the
clear
easiest.
yeah,
If you have a shop, you set up your ad campaign, you can actually link your product to whatever you're selling on the shop, and it makes they make it really easy to just buy from your screen. Well, you don't technically buy from the OTT
you're
display
buying it
ad.
from Amazon.
You
Yeah,
click the
but
button, and since it's all linked, it'll add it to your cart, but you still got to go online and buy it. I think. I don't know if they have to buy it now.
from what I've played with, the options are kind of like learn more, all those things. And then it is the add to cart
Yeah, add to
versus like
cart.
the buy now, which is going to take you to the ticket link. So it does immediately go into your cart, but I don't really think it is a direct purchase like the buy now on Amazon that pops up.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
That,
Going into the next section, it
yep.
kind of breaks down spending and revenue. So
Yep.
this is just kind of looking globally.
Yeah.
Obviously, US is the biggest spender, followed
and,
closely
and
by
they're and
China.
they're they're projecting exactly what we already knew. The biggest increases in spending is going to be in sports and
Yep.
in political because we have the midterms coming up.
Yep. So it's all World Cup and spending and World Cups in US this year. So I expect looking at this chart, it's going to be even more of a bigger chunk of the pie. So all that spending is US dollars.
Yep. We have
And
a
then looking
a
here,
confusing section of the article for me.
yes, yes.
Booze and tech boosts ad dollars. Those beverages. They're saying they go out of their way not to label anything, but they say uh,
Mhm.
alcohol-free options. So not alcohol advertising, but alcohol-free options. Now,
Right.
I'm
But I
like,
believe alcohol is included in the beverage category. So while we're still going to see that alcohol, like I think we've talked about before, slowly sales are declining just as young people aren't drinking as much. There will be a demand for those alcohol free options. So I think that soft drinks and even a market for the cannabis drinks or any others kind of fun mocktails and all the different things that are coming out.
they're the THC infused.
There you go. That's what I was trying to think of.
Because if they say cannabis, that's illegal in some areas. But if they're just
Immediately and
THC
out.
infused, then they can get by it depending on what kind of THC they're using. But advertising for that kind of a product is very limited right now. But I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a bigger product because I mean, it's a new product entering the industry, so they're
Mhm.
really bringing it out. That's what I think they're talking about when they say alcohol-free options. But I thought they would be a little bit more specific with, Coke, Pepsi, sodas, or something else.
Exactly.
And it
It's a
makes me
little
think,
misleading where I would say beverages is probably not going to be the number three growth when you break down the actual categories of what it is. But technology, of course, and like we said before, government spending
Yeah,
is going to be
and one of
huge.
their bigger things that they were talking about in this article is, or that I was reading about, was the technology, and you're going to see more people doing advertising for their AI offering. So AI is
Yep,
going to be in
yep.
every portion, and if you're not using AI and you're, with whatever your job is, they're going to be insinuating that you're going to be left behind. So
Right,
every
right.
company,
You're not as efficient, all those kind of things. But there's always that caveat. Just because it's AI doesn't mean it's always better. But there will be that.
Mhm.
I guess it's an easy trap to fall into saying, well, I'm using AI. This is going to be great. And then you're really not getting what you're paying for without that human touch.
Yep. And this one's not surprising.
Mhm.
Programmatic mix. They were showing that open connected CTV has increased
Mhm.
between 2020 and 2026, but they're not showing like as big of an increase between now and 2030, which I think is a mistake because I think
Yep.
everybody's going to have, everybody's going to be watching TV and watching their, connected TVs, but they're also
And
going to
just,
be on digital platforms. I mean, I see that growing too. It's going to
mhm,
be TikTok is, and that's the, as we go down, we're going to see TikTok is one of the biggest areas of
of
growth
growth.
in the industry.
Hmm. Yep.
Um,
Yep. And they're
Digital
saying
audio, I
basically,
get, um,
mhm.
and digital out of home, I get more and more of those billboards and out of home companies, and their screens are going to be everywhere. You
Yep,
could,
they are.
you
Yeah. I've seen an
could do,
increase just in what I'm doing with spending in out of home and audio. And it's easier, right? Easier to access. And I think that's what they're talking about, that growth with open connected TV and that digital platforms is where more people are going to be able to sell premium placements, right?
yeah.
So as a buyer, you have more options, brings the cost down to actually buy those placements.
And people, and when we talk to people about digital out of home, I mean, the first thing everybody thinks about is, oh, the billboards, the digital billboards, and I'm
But it's not.
no, think more of dystopian future digital out of home. When you think
Exactly.
Minority Report, how he's walking around and there's ads everywhere. I'm like, that's some of
Hmm.
these people's dream is to do that. But
Oh, yeah.
you go into 7-Eleven or Kmart, a Circle K or whatever,
Hmm.
and their ads are on the screens at the checkout. You have
Yep,
ads
they've got the
everywhere.
video on the wall with the menu that can flip into ads. You've got your point of sale where you're swiping your card. There's so many opportunities. Obviously, the gas station pumps, but one of the interesting things with digital out of home is when you look at how the targeting, it's getting better, not so much from an audience standpoint, but from where you're from a placement standpoint. So you can target just doctors' offices if it's,
Mhm.
a medical advertiser. You can target just college campuses. You can target just gyms, right? Apartment complexes, those kind of things when they have the screens in the lobby. So it's getting a little fun and interesting on what you can do digitally.
I mean, before we'd have to have signed up for something for 6 months and run a
Yes.
campaign for a poster campaign for those ads in the bathrooms, and now they're moving to basically screens everywhere where these static placements were, and they're selling it as digital because if you can get a screen in there that's connected to Wi-Fi, it can be a digital
You're
board.
good to go.
So
Yep. So
yeah,
even for smaller events, it works.
the cheap everybody's happy about how cheap TVs are, but I'm like, get ready to see screens everywhere.
Hmm.
Yeah, instead of posters on the wall or something like that, it's going to be a screen. Yeah.
Yep. And
Um,
this goes back into a little more like what you're talking about with TikTok and their huge growth. And then Google Display, which has still got the biggest chunk of the pie, is going down in its growth. It's trending downwards and will continue that way.
well, we're seeing that, and one of the bigger reasons is just they're seeing a trend down in web traffic. It's because people are going on to the AIs and they go and they search for something, they're asking
Exactly
questions,
what you were
and
talking
get their
about.
answer.
Yep. Yep.
So
Hmm.
the traffic that they would be getting to, say, Digiday, which is where this article is from, uh, may be going down because people aren't going to those places as much to just learn generally about something.
Right.
The AIs will be scraping the information from these articles and
Hmm.
presenting it to the user,
Yep.
whether it's Google's Gemini or OpenAI or Perplexity. They're scraping this information at when somebody searches it, and they're serving it up as like, hey, I just did the research for you. This is what I learned, and
Mm-hmm.
they're getting that. And so Digiday's not getting that ad revenue of somebody coming through. So that's actually hurting Google because now Google ads aren't getting served to those people, to those users, and they're not making the money. But with that,
Absolutely.
we'll see more YouTube, more TikTok, more Meta. People are more
Mm-hmm.
moving
More Amazon. Yep.
social area. Um, but I mean, web traffic will never go away. It's always going to be there. It's the database
It's where
basically.
you start. Yep,
Yep.
exactly. And then last point, we've
Hmm.
got AI, just like always, is going to be huge as far as marketing priorities. So look, you can look at this chart. As far as what CMOs are saying are their biggest priority, number one is going to be AI application. So just like what we were talking about, everybody's got to be using AI in every aspect of what they're doing to try and make themselves more efficient, to get
Hmm.
those suggestions, to try and make that targeting better. But we've always got to be looking at what we're doing. We've played around. I mean, some of that AI suggested audiences are great when you still have a little control, right? And you can pick and choose what you want. But when you just let, say, a Google or anyone else take the reins, things aren't always exactly where you want them to be. Now,
Yeah,
from an
and
efficiency standpoint, it might look great. From your KPI, it might look great. But where
yeah,
you're actually running.
yeah. When it comes to these things, Meta has released it's pushing a lot harder its AI within its platform for matching
Mhm.
matching your content to the actual user that it's advertising to. So it has an idea of exactly who the person is that the ad will be going to, and it wants to tailor it exactly to that person. It wants to your option to do that. It just takes away a little bit of the creative work on our side to make sure that everything's tailored correctly and we actually get the right message out to the person. We're always
Mhm.
hesitant to make sure that AI isn't picking up something where it shouldn't from the website that maybe didn't get scrubbed or something like that. Yeah, I just see the future of this being as in it's we're working hand in hand with AI to make sure that everything's running correctly and that AI should never
Absolutely.
replace anybody, especially in the creative department with branding. If you're using AI to create just your entire campaign, like give you direction and you're going to do it yourself,
Mhm.
it's going to come off as fake and it's going to come off as generic because people have seen everything AI does is something everybody's already seen 10 times. So
Yep.
you're not
And
going to
it's
stand
only going
out.
to, there's just going to be more and more of that content out there because it's so quick and easy.
But we are definitely looking at incorporating AI into every facet of the business, but not taking over any facet of the business. So we're trying to make sure that it works well with our objectives. But
Yep.
yeah,
Another tool in the tool belt.
but like I said, you're going to see more and more advertising for AI in every industry. So
Hmm.
it's just where it's going. And
The
poor
floodgates have opened.
and the first one that I keep on seeing when I'm on Google is make your own image, make your image, make your image. Like, and it's yeah, if yeah. So it's getting there, and it's becoming very invasive to just being on your email and being on looking at your email. I get a little text, use
Yep.
our
Yeah,
image.
it writes a response for me. And sometimes it's great. And sometimes I would never say that. So always keep an eye on it. But that'll do it for us today. And we should be back next week with another new topic. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.